Hey, everybody, it's Thursday. That means community focus with Commissioner Echols. And we're making our way, Faith, around the state. My assistant, Faith, at the Capitol. You see the little Georgia plaque on the background. Faith, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
Yeah, good. So we're going out. I mean, you're in Covington. We did our focus on Covington to start. You keep going out towards Augusta. You eventually get to a little town called Waynesboro in Burke County. And this county, this city, very important. It really is the Waynesboro, Aiken, South Carolina. It is, as I say, the Silicon Valley of nuclear energy. And we got some great guests today. Faith, tell us who we've got on our show today.
We've got Rodney Dill. He's with the Municipal Gas Authority of Georgia. Sheriff Alfonso Williams is the sheriff of Burke County. And Mayor Greg Carswell is the mayor of Waynesboro, of course. And then we'll be joined later by Nick Fiore with Plant Vogel down there in Waynesboro.
So I guess if you're thinking about committing some crime in Waynesboro or Burke County, now's probably a good time because I've got the sheriff on this call. So
we got backup out there, so I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't suggest that.
Sheriff, I have a daughter that works in the Justice Department up in Virginia. I've got a son in the Coast Guard, another son that had been a sheriff deputy, and I think folks don't fully appreciate the challenge that is being a sheriff's deputy, and certainly a sheriff. So we'll talk about that with you later on. Rodney, we're going to talk about natural gas and some of the cool things they're doing out in Waynesboro. First, why don't we spend a little bit of time talking with our mayor today. Mayor, welcome to Community Focus, and folks maybe that go to Augusta, maybe they go to the Masters, they may not get down to Waynesboro, but you guys are kind of a bedroom community of Augusta, right?
Yes, sir. We definitely are.
And as you think about some of the things going on in your little town of Waynesboro, I know y'all have an incredible school. Every time I ride through there, I'm just amazed at what y'all have been able to do. And I guess a lot of it has to do with the fact that plant out there is paying a lot of taxes and providing a lot of benefit to your community.
Yes, sir. They actually provide a substantial amount to our community, and they provide great services for our Board of Education. And that's why we do have one of the best schools here in the state of Georgia. And we're just proud of our school system and the education that our kids are receiving here in our city and our county.
Yeah, and you guys are building a new city hall. I mean, are you seeing the population of Waynesboro and Burke County grow? What are some of the things you're hoping to accomplish with this new facility?
We've seen some minor growth in population, but what we're hoping to achieve getting the new city hall, because what we definitely want to focus on is tourism. By us being the bird dog capital of the world, the only one here in the United States and in the world, and we've been featured on Jeopardy, even being the bird dog capital of the world. We want to bring people down and let them be able to see bird dogs and actually see and know what a bird dog may do.
Hey, Faith, I had a little Brittany Spaniel growing up because our family, we had a little land and quail hunting was a part of what we did. And, my uncle had a pointer. My granddad had a spaniel. I had this Brittany Spaniel, and I named the dog. I got it as a puppy. I named it Rebel, not knowing that dog really would become the Rebel. And I mean, the dog was dumb. I don't know if you've ever been quail hunting, but they make a lot of noise when the covey gets up, and they scare you to death because they're so loud, and you can be right on top of them, and they'll come up and surprise you. That's why there are a lot of hunting accidents with quail. The dog is supposed to alert you right through their nose that there's some birds right there. And my dog was slow. Eventually, my dog got up on his doghouse, leapt over his fence, and never returned. Mayor, you guys have, I guess, all kind of bird dogs in Waynesboro and Burke County.
Well, we definitely do. What's so fascinating about it, because I've been here all my life, but I finally went out to the Georgia Field Trail. This is what we have every year, and people come in hunting the bird dog. I mean the quail, the different bird game, and it showed me how there are always two dogs when they're out, with the bird dogs, and one dog runs into the woods, make the birds fly, and the other dog stands at point and let it know where the bird is. So that way, when it comes up, the hunter gets to shoot, and that's how they do it.
Maybe that was my problem, Mayor.
You were using your dog wrong.
Okay. I learned something today from the mayor. I was supposed to have two dogs, not one dog.
Your dog wasn't dumb. He was overworked.
Overworked, exactly.
Okay. Mayor, what else we got going on in Waynesboro that folks need to know?
I mean, we have a lot of things besides our new city hall. We do have businesses are continuing to come, and so we are continuing to grow. There are jobs that are available, but we also are excited about. We have a homelessness task force, and we just received a building where family donated it. We're getting ready to have we're working on our homeless shelter, but right now we're going to have a food pantry and a soup kitchen. So, I mean, and it's just so much going on that we're excited about. Our downtown development, where we continue to grow our downtown. We actually even getting ready to work on statues, that we're going to have bird dog statues throughout the city. So that way, when people actually visit Waynesboro, they can actually see a bird dog.
Wow. Okay. I am, I'm 60 years old. How come I'm just learning this now? How come I'm just learning this about the bird dog?
I'm not sure. I just know that most people have heard of a bird dog, but nobody have.
Yeah. Well, Mayor, thanks so much for being on our show today. Have a great day out there in Waynesboro today. Thanks for your service.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Sheriff, did you know that about bird dogs, that you need two and not one? I mean, I just learned something.
I didn't know that. I've learned something as well, and that you're a comedian and that you need a second dog.
Hey, Sheriff, when we have family functions with my Coast Guard son, my Justice Department daughter, my deputy sheriff's son, my daughter-in-law, who's a UGA police officer, there's a lot of Glocks. There's a lot of Glocks at our family meal. And now my daughter in the Justice Department is getting ready to marry another Justice Department guy. So yet another Glock for the family meal. But, I think about, and I'll be speaking here today on Jekyll to the GBI. I think about the fact that you guys are putting yourselves in harm's way out there every day. I mean, speak to us a second just about the challenge of being in law enforcement today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Commissioner, and thank you, Faith, for helping me get on. I tell you, this is a tough time in our country right now, and especially where law enforcement is concerned. It's very difficult. It's difficult to recruit, hire, train, and retain good officers because of what we have going on in the nation right now. We're so divided, way too partisan. And we have people of color who are dying unjustly at the hands of the police, but it's certainly not, if there's one, it's too many, but it's not what many purport it to be. The majority of our officers, 99.999% of our officers in this country are good people who have families and they go to church and they go to PTA and they coach rec sports. We have good people. Occasionally, we have one person who goes rogue, and unfortunately, every officer gets painted with the same brush, and that's a very unfair characterization of who we are. But we've got to work to repair that. As law enforcement leaders, we've got to do a better job at selling ourselves. And it's not this us against them mentality that you have historically seen with law enforcement leaders. We have been unwilling in the last 3 or 4 decades to invite the community into our law enforcement agencies so that they get to know us and get to understand us and what it is we do. But I think we've got to do a better job at selling ourselves, and we've got to tell the story, or the story is going to be told. And so I'm working in that regard. We're very connected to our community here in Burke County. We're very accessible. I like to say that we do more community services events in our communities than any other sheriff's office within 100 miles of us. And we are very much in tune to what our community needs are. And we're working with our federal, state, and local partners to do a better job at community policing and being accountable. The Word of God says that the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve. And I am sincere in our desire to serve mankind here in Burke County.
Wow, that's pretty powerful, and I haven't heard a sheriff speak so boldly. Let me ask you. You know, sheriffs have to run for election. Is that I mean, if you could wave a magic wand and change that, where sheriffs were appointed versus being elected, would you change that? And do you like having to run for office?
Yeah, I certainly would not change it. I think that we need to stay accountable to the people that we serve. And we don't need to get into a position where we're being served by them. So I think that the accountability piece is the fact that you have to be elected by the constituency. And I think it keeps things in perspective. It keeps us more accountable to the people, more accessible to the people. And when you have to get reelected, you realize I better get out in the community. I better attend this event. I better return these phone calls. And I think that that's the difference between a sheriff and a chief of police who answers to the city council, where there isn't. I've been a chief of police of a municipality, first African American chief here in Waynesboro, first African American sheriff here in Waynesboro, and I've been a chief of police other places, and the job is different. And these small counties like Burke County, folks will walk in and say, Sheriff, I need help with my power bill this month. You couldn't imagine. You're from Clayton County, Commissioner. I don't imagine. I know the Clayton County Sheriff. I don't imagine people expect the sheriff to help them with their power bill. I have to do that monthly here, and it's out of pocket. We don't use tax dollars to do that. People just have. You can't reach your president. You may not be able to reach your U.S. senator, but you can certainly get your sheriff on the phone. You're going to see the sheriff at Walmart and at Tractor Supply, and and we're involved in the community. So it's a huge part of what we do, and it needs to stay in elected office.
Wow. Well, that's powerful. Well, Sheriff, thank you so much for being on Community Focus today, and I'm going to let you get back to protecting the good citizens of Waynesboro and Burke County. Hey, you've got our number. If we can ever help you at the commission, we are at your service too. I just pray that God gives you and your deputies protection as they go out and serve the community.
Well, Commissioner, I just wanted to thank you for the work that you are doing on human trafficking, and we're taking that serious as well. We're working with our state and federal partners. The governor has been very aggressive. He and the First Lady, Marty, are really serious about helping our children. I have a history of working child abuse cases, did them for many years in Richmond, Burke, and Columbia counties, and we have got to stop this enterprise where folks are taking advantage of our children. I know that you do a great job with your program, the Unholy Tour, where you're educating legislators on the effects of human trafficking in Georgia. You do a great work. We're here to work with you. Thank you so kindly for what you do, and we're making Georgia safer.
Fantastic. Well, have a great day. We really appreciate you being on today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Hey, we've got Rodney Dill on with us, and Rodney, you know, we think about what happened in Texas last week. You work with the Municipal Gas Association here in Georgia. We think about the impact now of having natural gas power our power plants, and the fact that there was a little bit of a crisis a month ago in Texas, and that's something you guys think about every day, right? That reliability, making sure these cities have have gas, and how important is reliability to MGAG?
Well, first, Commissioner and Faith, let me just thank you for having me on today. I'm glad to be here, and also too, just really appreciate the comments from both the mayor and the sheriff. And yes, natural gas, we really think about that. I know our operations area works extremely hard to make sure the municipally owned systems that we serve are receiving their natural gas. And I think it just really is a view of a larger picture and how important it is to have a diversity of energy delivery systems, an electric grid, a natural gas system, pipeline system. So just having that diversity is extremely important and really only enhances that reliability. So we're very focused on that, and low cost, affordable energy and reliability are two things that are extremely important to us.
Yeah. So the cities across Georgia that aren't tied into the Atlanta Gas Light system, they're responsible for providing their own gas. And what is the challenge of having a smaller system versus a large system like the Atlanta Gas Light system?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And these systems actually were started, back as the pipelines were going into the larger populous areas back in the 50s. And so these systems really had the wherewithal and the vision to extend and connect to the pipeline for their communities, to bring energy to the community, and also to serve as an economic development engine. And Waynesboro is a really good example of that. We've talked about Waynesboro here, and here's a system with approximately 1,000 gas customers, and so they're able to join the gas authority and aggregate their gas supplies and get some economies through that. And yet here's a system that they have. You heard the mayor mention about business development, economic development. We're here. This enterprise really serves the city in that way. They can go and recruit industry, bring in affordable natural gas to both to the residential, commercial, and industrial segments of the community. And of course, the benefits of the system stay within the community since it's a community-owned system. So it brings a lot of advantages to a small community.
Rodney, let me ask you about these gas trash trucks, these natural gas trash trucks that more and more cities are using. I saw it in Thomasville. We'll have them on an upcoming community focus. But now Waynesboro has their own CNG trash truck. What is CNG and why is it so much better?
Yeah, that's another good question. Well, the compressed natural gas trash truck, or the NGV, natural gas vehicle trash truck, makes really a lot of sense really from a couple of standpoints, in terms of just overall fuel savings compared to diesel, and also really displacing diesel. You can see a reduction in carbon emissions and NOx emissions. And so really much cleaner for the environment to use these vehicles. For a municipally owned system like Waynesboro, because they are the gas provider, and also municipals typically operate the refuse or trash trucks and have fleets, it really makes sense for these cities to consider compressed natural gas vehicles. And Waynesboro's done that. They've got one trash truck now that they are operating. They have another one that's on order. They're seeing in the magnitude of anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000 a year in savings, and plus all the environmental advantages that I've just mentioned, along with low maintenance costs. The impact is having on the community with how quiet these vehicles are. That's another advantage of these trash trucks compared to the diesel trucks.
You remember when I got elected back in 2010, right before I took office, I bought a 99 Honda Civic that just ran on natural gas. And I didn't know what I was doing back then. I bought this car. There wasn't a lot of chargers around there. And I was trying to get to Savannah. And you helped me figure the route that I could go Athens to Thompson to Statesboro. And because we didn't have anything in Savannah, and I was always having to be mindful of my range, I had to stop at Armstrong College and park the car there and either take the bus or get a ride because if I went any further, I couldn't get back to Statesboro, to get back to Thompson, to get back to Athens. And so I never had to have a record tow me, but I was literally on fumes sometimes going, am I going to make it? So I would slow way down. I wouldn't really accelerate very much. I would turn the air condition off, anything to just make the car use less fuel. But,
Funny story.
We've come a long way, haven't we, Rodney, with natural gas? I see so many UPS trucks running on it. I see so many other fleet vehicles that are using this. MARTA buses are using it. I mean, it really has become an extremely popular fuel.
Yeah, it has, and we've made some really good. I mean, that funny story. It's amazing how we had to work those logistics for you to travel in that natural gas vehicle. But today we're seeing both private and public stations coming on in Georgia, and we're seeing several public stations out on 75 and 85 and I-20. You mentioned Covington. There's a public station right there. The Waynesboro station is a private station, even though it's a fast fuel, time fuel operation, and so it serves Waynesboro. It serves their vehicles, but they're looking at even expanding that to county vehicles and other vehicles as well.
Well, Rodney, thanks for being on Community Focus. Keep up the great work with all of our wonderful cities, and we may have you back on to talk about another city when we have a city that's using natural gas the way that Waynesboro is. Such an exemplary model. Thanks a lot. I
Thanks, Commissioner.
I appreciate you being on.
Thanks, Faith. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, it's great to have Nick on this morning. Nick, you're live on Community Focus. How are you doing?
I hope I'm alive.
Yeah, no, you're not only alive, you're live. You're live on 4 Facebook pages, Twitter, and YouTube right now. Welcome to Community Focus.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Hey, Nick is the site coordinator for the Nuclear Power Labor Management Committee. It's a part of IBEW's Nuclear Trust Organization. Nick, I have really tried to move things forward with the plant really since I got to the commission in 2011, and we have persisted. And when we finish with Vogtle Unit 3, Vogtle Unit 4, it is going to be a testament to the ability of our craft to create something that other than a spaceship, I think Vogtle Unit 3 and 4 will be the most complicated construction project on the planet. How proud of you are your guys and gals out there?
Well, you're breaking up a little bit on me. I hope you can hear me okay.
Yes, go ahead.
So I'll try to put it in perspective to you. Not only is it one of the most complicated construction projects here in the United States, probably in the North American continent, and we are relying on the skill sets of the craft from 30 years ago to educate a new generation of nuclear workers here. The other point that you have to make is if you're looking at a challenge, working through COVID, workforce availability out sporadically, changes in schedules, and having to adapt to all of that throughout this is absolutely amazing. We've got a workforce out here that went as high as 8,500 craft employees, and we're about 6,800 today. The skill sets required, like I said, we are creating a new generation of nuclear workers. And pride in what the craft do, pride in what the owners have done here. It's absolutely remarkable. With the COVID down here, the owners, the team itself came together and were ahead of the CDC. We actually had medical professional on staff, medical villages set up. Just about everything that you can imagine has been done out here.
Wow.
Going forward.
you guys have done a lot for the community as well. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Go ahead and continue your thought on going forward, and then I want to ask you about some of the community stuff.
Yeah, I think that the testament to everything that's occurred is we're getting ready to go into hot functional, and that's to energize the primary and secondary steam systems out here. And that sets the stage for fuel load in July. And I say we're going to hit the completion dates in November and in service dates, barring any other catastrophic events with COVID. As to the community, I'm very proud of what we've done out in Waynesboro. We established an apprenticeship readiness program way ahead of anyone else out here. We placed over 100 individuals into apprenticeship and training programs through the Augusta Building Trades Council and the unions out here. A vast majority have worked out here and moved on to another project. And it's a diverse group, just a diverse group of young women, ladies. And by way of telling you how good we are, we have an 81-year-old carpenter and an 81-year-old electrician working out here. So we've done quite a bit.
Wow, that's incredible. As we wrap up today, Nick, as I think about, and I talk about this all the time because I do a lot of educational things for kids, that you could have a welder start as an apprentice and then over a 5-year period become a journeyman, essentially getting a master's degree or a doctorate degree in their trade, essentially, and providing a fantastic income for their family, opportunity for health insurance. I mean, it really is. If you like my boys, if you like being outside and you like working with your hands and you like creating something, I mean, working, in a union workforce like this is really, really a great way to go for a career, isn't it?
Yeah, it's earn by you learn, and I can give you some example of a Ray LaLuz that came out here, started on the project as a first-year apprentice. And last year he made over $100,000. So the opportunities are there. Some individuals who graduate from college don't even come near that over a career. Yes, it's a great opportunity. The building trades afford you the ability to earn, learn, and grow. And not just to that, you'll get folks that can come out of the apprenticeship program, work as a journeyman, start their own construction business, move on to become an engineer. I mean, the sky is the limit. And it's been here. It's like I said, it's a best kept secret that we've had. And just one more comment is we model ourselves. We have model high standards, and we pursue excellence just like the Public Service Commission does.
Wow, thank you so much. I want to just say thanks to everybody for being on Community Focus today. Faith, where are we going next week?
So next week, we will be in Brookhaven, coming back to the metro area. And then the week after that, we're going to Tucker. And then April 1st, we will be back down at the coast for the Golden Isles. So those are our next few weeks on Community Focus.
Sounds like I need to do that one down at the coast live in order to make sure that I'm including everyone. Well, I just want to thank Rodney. Thank you for being on the show today. Mayor, fantastic work you're doing over there. And Nick, I can't wait for the ribbon cutting. I hope the President of the United States flies Air Force One into that Augusta airport, comes over there, clips that ribbon. I'm going to be there. I can't wait.
And just like everyone else there, we're just so pleased to deliver something nationally. I mean, the eyes of the world are on this project. There's no question about it. And like I said, without Georgia Power, MEAG, Dalton, Oglethorpe, all the partners in here, this would never happen. And all the hard work that the craft, everyone has contributed to this project. It's just amazing. And I get marveled every day when I stepped out there it's a different project every day.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. I've got to go get on a committee at my real job at the Public Service Commission. So we will see you soon. We'll see you at the ribbon cutting. Mayor, bring me 2 bird dogs. Bring me 2 bird dogs.
Don't do that.
All right. See you guys later. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Bye.